right, let's try this again. Moo. Do a little jump through the forest, counting the twigs past the nest, the bird's nest. Twice over, please. Sheep in the grass. I think they or did it with the wolf sounds a little bit. I mean, it feels exaggerated.
Go to hell!
Don't need to fight, gentlemen.
I'll be done with you in a flash.
Pick some flowers and you'll be happy.
Take that, you shit! What? Hey, stop fighting! We'll finish this quickly.
Shame on you.
Come on then. Jesus, I'm hit.
You can do it. Take them down.
So it's what's that noise?
This is unbelievable.
My God! Oh.
I'll stop the fight.
Stop!
You'll kick the bucket, you shit.
You got him. You got him. Take him. Take him.
Bastard!
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick.
You're not up to it. For Christ's sake.
This is unbelievable.
Hey, stop Big mistake, you cunt.
Shame! Shame on you!
So, this is your famous maypole.
Don't fuck with me next time.
That is a nice axe you got there.
What's wrong? Hey, wake up! Bastard! He thinks I'm taking that lying down. He's gonna know.
Ah, what kind of pig was sitting here?
That's not nice to say. He could be a nice pig.
What a nice maypole. It'd be a shame if something...
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Really, very nice.
I'll say, the best in the county. Do you know why?
No?
Because it's the only one. We top of the one in Shelyoff. They never saw it coming. Nobody gets the better of us. I don't think they're going to try anything after that beating anyway. Even if they do, Hennick will raise the alarm and we'll kick their asses again. See you later.
So you hell?
What? Hey, what are you doing here? You're not allowed. Please, or I'll call the guards. Are you really going to make me look for you? Hey, what are you doing here? You're not allowed. I never want to see you here again without permission.
Okie dokie. I'm sorry. I'm a bad boy. Mushroom? I got a mushroom.
What's the hold up?
Mr. Blacksmith, do you happen to have an axe for sale?
What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost.
I'll have a look at the wares.
Damn, that's expensive. $272 Greshens. Cheapest axe is 110 Greshens.
Let's talk about the price.
Sure, why not?
Can we get it down to 7 questions?
What a shame. I'm done haggling with you. Oh well, what can you do? Farewell then. What would you like?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last 2 hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
I was gonna say. Oh, you think I'm rich and I just carry iron in my pocket?
Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
Hey, puppy dog. What's up?
Are you gonna get started then? Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up and try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. You can tell the temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can. so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. When I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Henry, stop gaping into the fire like a fortune teller and heat it up. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Sparks! That's the stuff. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. It's easier to forge to a rhythm. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and a sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Excuse me.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
Think I got it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed, and there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me, but if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them, though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house, there are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sakura, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Very interesting. Thought you wanted me to make an axe. Finally, my own place to stay. Take a little nappy nap. I don't want to take a nappy nap. It's still daylight.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I'm still not really sure of myself in the forge. Could you show me again how it's done?
Why not? Better to practice now than fuck up an order. Why don't you forge me another hunting sword? Have you got what you need?
Yeah, I have.
Let's see what you can do then.
I didn't really want to do that. But
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above. give it a pull. Works better. You can tell the temperature by the colour, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from the and you take a look. Try it out. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. Henry, when you've got a workpiece heated up, you can't just stand there and gape at it. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil.
I can go back. What the fuck?
Sparks. That's the stuff. Sparks are flying nicely. Well struck. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
I'd like you to teach me something.
Yeah, all right. But it will cost you. What do you want to know? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right, I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Greetings.
That's a beautiful maypole. We never had one quite like it back home.
Aye, ours is the prettiest. And also the only one in these parts. That's why we keep a close eye on it. Nobody's managed to steal it in recent years, but not for a lack of trying. Except, I feel sorry for my poor Hinyik, having to worry about it.
Why is he worried?
Oh, he has to keep watch over it at night. We decided to keep it up until harvest. Except that means someone has to guard it every night. Hinyik pulled the short straw this time, and he's dead tired because of it.
Henyuk?
He's my sweetheart, I suppose. It's complicated.
Complicated? Is something wrong?
Well, since you asked, my parents forbid us from seeing each other. They're all up in arms over it. They're just not fond of him. So we have to meet in secret, which is impossible now, since Henyek doesn't have the time because he has to watch the maypole.
Well, what if someone took over for him and he had some free time tonight?
I'd like to see that. He's tired, but it's a matter of honor for him. Besides, the others wouldn't be happy if they found out.
We'll see.
Hail.
God bless. I talked to Manka. She mentioned you two are having some problems.
Well, if she already told you, no sense in covering it up. Aye, we are. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskowitz recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problem.
You mentioned you and Henrik are having some trouble.
Well, hi.
I talked to him, and we came up with a plan. I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Henrik. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, you can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Henrik I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
Good news. Manka agrees. She'll be waiting for you tonight. She says you'll know where.
We'll meet by the maypole as soon as it gets dark, all right?
Aye. It's a deal.
blind? Are you blind?
What would you like?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then?
Can I ask you about that cart?
What is it you need to know?
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
All right, I'm on my way.
Time's wasting. Run along.
I'm too conspicuous during the day. Better to try at night.
You didn't actually do it, did you? Laugh all you like. If I told you they gave 3 times as much milk afterwards, you still wouldn't be impressed, would you? Killing me. Aye, aye. Take my advice and go and sit with
That's a load of shit.
What do you want here, you yokel?
Show me your wares.
Nothing suits your fancy, eh?
What are you doing in there? I'll give it to you, you bastard! Give up! Are you deaf? Yield! Come on, surrender!
Make me!
God almighty, what have I done to deserve this? Get out of my sight.
What? You can't just stroll around here without so much as a by your leave. Next time, don't come in here without permission. What can I do for you?
Show me your wares.
Maybe next time then.